Hey everybody, what's up? It's Tipping the Scales. I'm Shay Dawson.
I am what Shay always reminds me to call myself is Sweet Tea, formerly known as Tania Rivers. But hi.
And also, I keep forgetting to introduce my full name. It's LaShayla, aka Shay. But yes, hi
LaShayla
Tania.
is so
Sweet
pretty.
Tea. Thank you.
Yeah.
It is I really love it. But people butcher it, so I haven't been, I haven't wanted to use it. But
how do you butcher LaShayla?
When you read it on paper, people say LaShayla, LaShiala, just all kinds of stuff. And when I was a kid, it just used to make me so embarrassed. When you're a kid, the dumbest things make you embarrassed. And so when teachers like subs would come in and they would do that and then people would laugh, I'm like, I'm just going to be Shay. And then they would start messing that up. She-ish. I'm like, what the heck? So
how can you mess that up? But listen, I cannot tell you how many times people butcher Tania.
Oh, all the time to me as well. People that we know. I'm like, her name is Tania.
Or it's like.
Or they don't say it at all. They're like.
Or Tanisha. That's the default.
Yeah.
Like there's there's not an S in my name. So how's life treating? What's going on? What's new in your world?
Nothing new. I mean, just like I'm getting better every day. Like I love focusing. That. I'm vibing. I just rebranded my the Shay Dawson Experience, which is my personal brand. I don't exactly know what it is yet, and I'm still working on that.
I like it though. It's unique to you.
Yeah.
And you know how we like to say, when you get a little piece of Shay, it's a whole experience. It's not just a little visit. It's a real experience. So I feel like that's your brand.
I'm trying to define what that is. And so I rebranded that, and it's the best possible human experience one can provide person to person. That's my goal. Sowing good seeds, one human connection at a time. And that's what it stands for, but I don't exactly know what the output looks like. So that's what I'm working on. And so I'm just happy. And then Nafis is doing amazing things.
Hey, Fees.
Yeah,
what's up, little brother?
Visited a potential next opportunity. So more to come on that. But
that's
I'm excited
exciting
for what he's doing. So yeah.
Big things are coming. I'm just you're legit my little sister. So just seeing you evolve and blossom like a little flower goes a long way.
So what's new with you, my big sister?
Nothing. I mean, I unfortunately had a little health scare yesterday. I was in the ER for most of the day in Florida at a conference. And I wasn't able to participate in our leadership conference because I became very ill. And my doctor thought I had a bleeding ulcer and told me to go to the ER right away. Yeah. So it wasn't, I did lose some blood, but it wasn't significant. They did check my blood levels, and all of that looked normal. Yeah. But I have to do some additional testing. I'm having some GI issues, and it's just painful. So I'm on a liquid diet for 3 days. So for people who know me, love me, probably should leave me alone until Sunday, because I'm angry and hungry as hell. Because all I could do is literally my food today, black tea, and I had a little bit of broth. Yesterday, I fasted just to give my intestines like a little break. Yeah. So I think I can eat some regular food, but start off kind of slow, like almost like a baby food type substance, and like the consistency of like a baby food. Yeah. And then it kind of build up to whole foods, and it's just a journey with this thing. But look, I am incredibly grateful that it wasn't something worse that required immediate surgery like my physician had thought, out of town in Miami. I just wouldn't want to have to do that. So I flew back last night, and I'm happy to be home and not having a need to have surgery. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Dang, that's crazy. But I did notice you drinking tea, which I knew that was off. So in my head, I'm thinking,
what is tea drink? What is Sweet Tea doing drinking tea?
I should have just.
And it's not tea with tea.
But and it's not tea with tea. Dang, that's crazy.
I know.
All right. Well, keep an eye on it. Keep us updated. The tippers care and want to know.
Yes, I will keep you guys updated.
A lot going on in the world. Serena Williams retired. Did you watch the U.S. Open? Did you watch any of it?
Yeah, I did see some of it.
Incredible.
I know.
Chills.
I just want her strength. She is strong and powerful.
Yeah.
And I'm just proud of what she has brought to tennis and what she represents, and just everything about her just speaks excellence.
Yes.
And I'm going to always be a fan. My heart is heavy that she's leaving, but at the same time, she's been doing it for how long has it been? Like,
she's had 23 Grand Slams. So
that is hard for me even to wrap my arms around.
She started as a kid.
Yeah, that's just insane. And at some point in time, we talk about on our pod, focusing on what matters most. And I think it's important that I forgot who said this, but someone once said, keep the main things the main things. And I think that's what she's doing. Her main thing is her family, and she's going to focus on that and spend time with her husband and her daughter. So I'm excited for her journey and where it's going to take her. But at the same time, I'm going to miss her presence on the court immensely.
Same, but I can already see her passing the torch to so many new emerging stars and faces. And it's kind of crazy. And I loved when she said there would be no Serena without Venus. That made me tear up incredibly. I was just like, oh, that's so cute. And then also she has the Nike new headquarters that she's opening up. So she's not leaving tennis. She's just assuming another role and passing along everything she's learned. So shout out to Serena Williams. Yeah. And
we love you, Serena.
Yes. And I always told you, if I could have one guest on the show, it would be her. And so I'm putting that out there for the universe, but also just we're manifesting that shit because she's just amazing.
Fire. Anyway, so listen, I know that we on our pod at Tipping the Scales, we talk about so many different topics, from love and relationships to, we talk about advice in the workplace and how to be your best self. And last week's episode was focusing on the power of forgiveness. If you haven't listened to that one, it's a good one. Please go back and listen to the power of forgiveness and just check out the other episodes that are out there. How many we have? Over 60 now, right?
60 plus.
Oh my God. Yeah. So listen, guys.
I can't believe it.
Go look at our library of episodes, and there's so much for you to listen to. And if you're new to Tipping the Scales, I always recommend going back and listen to the first episode and just every time you go in your car, you do your favorite thing or whatever it is that you like to listen to your podcast. Start we tell a story, and we're going to take you on a wonderful journey, and we want you to be a part of that. So go back to episode 1. We talk about who we are and why we're doing what we're doing, to today. You're going to learn so much about Shay and I, and you're also going to see how much we've grown over this period of time, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
and we still have so much more room to grow because we have jobs right now. So we don't really have time to prepare notes and prepare topics, even though, T is the topic master. She comes up with all of our topics on our shows. Thank you for that. I just want to say that.
Thank you for being doing
that. But it's imagine if we had time to dedicate to doing
100%.
You know what I mean? Going 100. So stick with us because it's only going to get better. Yes. And we got these new 4K cameras from Tidal League. Shout out to Tidal League.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you.
Content coming. So we're excited about
everything
that we're doing. So.
Yeah. And I'm scared to say it because I think Hong has superpowers. So the last time I was talking crap about him, my computer had a glitch. So, but because I'm stubborn as I am, Hong, please keep my name out your mouth. This is Hong at Tidal League. He's our master. What would you say his role is? He's the technology guru.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a boss.
He does all things.
He's a boss, one of the bosses.
He's one of the bosses. But keep my name out your mouth, Hung, before I come for you. Okay? So what that I have some technological challenges, but there are, that's okay. I mean, I'm great at other things, so leave me the hell alone, bro. Okay?
And you're learning. It's nice to see. Like you said, we're growing, and you're growing in your technology.
Yes.
So I am trying to get her to get an Apple computer just for podcasting. But
the thought of Apple computers is just too much. For those of you tippers who know, I know this resonates with you. If you are a Windows type of person, when you're a Windows type of person, you like to stay with Windows. You don't want
to. But you have an iPhone. It's not much different.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's literally
the control functions
a phone
are different.
with a top. That's what it is.
Fine. So anyway, back to those topics. We kind of fell off. We kind of ventured off a little bit, but
we always do.
But that's okay. But for this time, we thought it was important for us to be financially literate, right? Like when you think about our lives, we want to ensure that we're saving for the future, that we have something stowed away, because you never know when things happen. I was a part of a massive layoff when I worked at Merrill Lynch, and I was at a point in my time where I did not have a lot of savings. Mm-hmm. And when that happened to me, it made me think about saving very much differently. Yeah. And I think it's important for us just to talk about this, because I think we can all do better as it relates to savings. And if you haven't started saving, then now's the time.
No, I agree. And every little thing helps. Every little bit helps. Mm-hmm. And so no matter what tax bracket you're in, you can save. You can figure out a way to save. I started saving when I was a coach and a teacher. I would say about 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
She says it like she's been on this world for back 30 years ago. When I mean,
I'm getting older, but so back then, I just knew that it was important to have a cushion of savings, just so that nobody could dictate to me or hold my feet to the fire when not necessary. So I am now doing so good when it comes to my savings, and I'm just excited for the future. And I understand that you have to have a certain amount saved in order to make moves, right? Or just even small little investments. Like instead of saving $5 in your bank account or something, why don't I put $5 in the stock market? Put $5, where your money can appreciate. And so, but you have to be curious about how to save and when and what. So
and get educated. And I think too, like oftentimes when you think about saving, you think about, do you have to do something so grandiose? Like, do you have to save a lot? Start to think about the small things that you can do to make some minor adjustments. Like one thing that I've learned is eating out. Like we're always on the go. But so let's say for those of you who are going into an office, or you are, even if you're home and you're, the power of DoorDash is crazy. I mean, I probably should have some money in DoorDash. Yeah. I should have made some investments in DoorDash.
Seriously. Yeah.
But one of the smallest things that you can do is meal prep. And I know it sounds so simplistic in nature, but I promise you, if you go and look at DoorDash or look at your receipts over time, you can easily spend upwards to a couple $100s a week and just eat out food alone. Yeah. And that's not even taking into consideration the times when you may go out with your significant other or your friends to go out to dinner. I'm just talking about your everyday meals. Yes. If you just took time and meal prep, like let's just say on a Sunday or whatever day of the week works best for you, and you prepare all your meals for the week, that will, I promise you, save you a lot of a lot of money. Like at least probably, depending on how much you spend and you eat, but you could spend it. You're probably going to save at least $100, I'm thinking, a week alone.
Literally, we started doing that at my house. And not only are we saving money, but we're eating healthier.
Being more healthy. Yeah.
Literally, it's changed the game. Like, it has changed the game. And usually I used to get a Dunkin' Donuts coffee every morning. And I was just telling our people from Title League that I just got an espresso machine. So now I can not only make my own at home, but I also can make it healthier. But you also feel better when you save. Like you literally feel more powerful. Like I'm literally like, wow, I can do this. Like it's a mental thing too. Saving money is so mental.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more, Shay. And you feel better about yourself, and you feel like you're in control of your life. Like you're in the driver's seat, because, I remember I was talking about earlier when I got laid off. It was a while ago, early in my career, and I was working at Merrill Lynch. I felt, like the rug was pulled underneath me, and I wasn't sure what to do. And I filed for unemployment. That's not even scratching the surface on the income that I had. And it was very devastating. And, when that happened to me, it's always sometimes those challenges that have you think about life very much differently. And when I got laid off, remember, single mom, I think Mikkel was in ninth or 10th grade. I got laid off. I had just bought a house. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was just awful. I had just bought a house. We just moved into a neighborhood. He was starting a new school, a high school, and I didn't have a lot of money saved, hardly any. And I just remember like struggling so hard until I found another job and I ended up finding another job, which was great, making more money than I was making at Merle. But that was a lesson learned for me. It said, I am never going to not have something stored away for a rainy day. And from that moment on, I was very intentional about my savings. And I started off small because I wasn't making the money that I'm making now, of course.
That's the number one, right?
Yeah.
Starting off small.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And I started saving like legit $10 a week.
Yep. That's
right?
how I started. Yep. And then I got a second job. When I was in college, I had a second job. Mm-hmm. And then I would literally, so I've been watching the show Selling OC. Mm-hmm. And all of those houses reminds me, because I used to paint those kind of people's houses. I was like, damn, that shit's crazy. Like,
yeah.
So when I was in college, in junior college, I needed to pay my own rent. Like, I was an adult. Like, finally, like, literally went from high school to college, and we had apartments, and we had roommates, and then we had roommates, meaning like you had roommates in your apartment and then roommates in your room. And so I needed to pay my portion of the rent. So I
double down on roommates.
Right? And so I not only had to practice, but I also had to save money in order to live. And my mom couldn't help me. And so what I did was I started small, saving money. Mm-hmm. That was money I got from school, money I got from working at school. And then I also got a second job painting houses. Mm-hmm. And before I knew it, I had like $1,000 saved. And with that $1,000, I bought a car. And so... Yeah. And so I used the money that I saved, and then I used some of my grant that I got from school, and I got my first car, and it was amazing. And then the power of just doing little by little gave me faith in myself that I could do it, that I could go without things, that I could sacrifice. So,
and it's going to evolve over time.
Small. Yeah.
So at least you started small, and now like she big time now. She got a couple of hours over there.
I got a couple of hours.
But you know what? You need that, because even it doesn't matter if you're working for someone, if you're self-employed or entrepreneur, like storms do come, like it's never, ever going to just be clear skies. Like, it's, there's going to be some clouds. Sometimes it'll be a thunderstorm. The point being is that the sun sometimes will fade away. And what will happen? Right. So that's why you got to make those sacrifices now. And when you think about all the things you spend money on, from going out to the movies, from going, I swear to you, I think meals are the most costly. Like going out to dinner, going to a bar, going drinking.
Yes. And I like to pick up the tab too. So
me too.
Yeah, I gotta cut those things out sometimes.
I know, you should see when Shay and I go out. It's like a battle. Like both of us are competitive. We're trying to who's whipping out the credit card first. And it's like,
I'm like, these my people. Like, I got to take care of my people.
The poor server is like, look, I don't care who pays. Just give me your damn credit card.
And make sure you tip well. Okay.
Okay. But I just think like because I used to do this, right? So I don't know if you may do this too. For those of you who are listening or watching, I used to tell myself I don't make enough money to save. I would say to myself, I'm going to save later when I'm making X amount of dollars, and then I'll be able to save. And you got to not say that to yourself. Like you could save right now. Even like I said, I started off with $10 and now I'm saving a lot more than that. Yep. But you need to think about what are some of the things that you can do that you could take away that you don't necessarily need to do, like eating out every day, or just being very wasteful. And I think about things that you waste too, that you could be really being very much aware of how you're spending your money, and just commit to it.
Yeah.
And more importantly, do not let your savings go into any other accounts that you may be pulling from on a regular basis. Like it needs to be a separate account that you do not see and that you do not touch. And you pretend it's just like your 401k. Yep. You pretend like it's not even there.
Yep. So back in the day before online banking was a thing, I used to use envelopes. And what I used to save is extra change around the house.
Yep.
If someone would pay me back, I would already say the money was gone, and that's what I would save. And I would literally put on the envelope where I got the money from, like change from tonight's dinner, payback for paying for someone's meal. Like I said, I like to pay for people's things. So I literally, and once it's gone, it's gone. And so that's the mindset you have to start doing. Is like, once you put money away, you cannot move it from your savings to your checking. Like that has to be Bible. And that's one thing that's helped me too, is to have a cushion. And so it's like, if you don't put rules to your budget, then you're going to renege. And so creating a budget is also something that's very important. Adding up your monthly bills, seeing what's left over and where you can cut out, because you will indulge. And also having goals for what you're saving for will also help your different financial habits as well.
Yeah. Separate it from your regular spending.
Yeah.
Pretend like it's not there. And more importantly, be consistent. Don't do it 1 week, stop for 5 weeks, go back to it. It should be an automatic thing, like paying your rent or your mortgage. It gets pulled out and it goes into this account and it goes away. Yep. And you don't look at it until you need it for a rainy day. Or there are times when I will do my regular savings and my investments, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. And then I also would just do a savings for something that I want to do, right? So let's say I have a big trip that I want to go on.
Goal setting, yeah.
Right? So, one of my goals, actually what I'm doing next year is taking my mom to Greece. And I want to do it up. Like my mom, I told her that I basically work for her. I was like, I work for Tiny. That's her nickname. Shout out to Antonia. Hey, Mom, I love you.
Hey, Mom.
But I work for her. Like my coins are her coins. So girlfriend don't call for a little small gift. She like, I want to go to blah, blah, blah. Last year I took her and my stepdad. Shout out to Big Daddy Tuck. Hey, Tuck.
Hey, Tuck.
I took them and my cousin to Jamaica. And I like to do things like that, when we just spend time with each other. And I want to take her to Greece and spend some time. And she wants to stay at the best of the best. She wants to go shopping. Like, girlfriend wants to have fun. I need some coins to do that.
Yeah.
So now I have a separate account. Like, this is my Greece trip money. I don't touch it. It's there. I put a certain amount allocated to it, and then that's going to be ready to go. I probably will have more than I need, but that's okay. Like, I love to see that. I just think it's nice just to have whatever that goal is set aside for whatever it is that you want to use it for.
I love that.
Yeah.
That makes me think too. When I was trying to buy that car, that was all I could think about. And it's so funny because I would see the same car. Like once I locked eyes, I was like, I'm getting a Dodge Neon. And every time when I decided, I saw it. And every time I saw it, I'd be like, nope, I don't need that burger. Nope, I don't need those shoes.
Exactly.
Nope. And I would literally go straight home from the gym, from practice. Like all my friends would be like, oh, we should go to the cat. Nope, I'm going right home. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I had to start changing my patterns and my mindset.
Bingo.
But I got that car. And
mindset. Say that again. Changing your mindset.
I had to change my mindset because before I thought I had to have a burger. I thought I had to have the extra stuff. When I told myself I got stuff at home, I got stuff in the refrigerator because I had that goal in mind. Now, if I was just saving just to save, I think it would have been a little bit tough. But the clarity in what I was saving for is what helped me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And listen, what we're not trying to do is tell you not to enjoy life and have fun. Because I am a huge believer in make money, spend money, be wise about your spend, but do the things that bring you joy in your life. We get one life in this world. Tomorrow is never promised. So you want to do the things that bring you joy. We're just saying do it in a way that you can still save, but yet live your life. So, if you're a person who likes to go, let's say, to the movies and you're going every week. I used to go to the movies like once a week pre-COVID, was my jam. But I need to go every week. Maybe go once every other week, like go twice a month or once a month and save the money from there, because you're not going to just go. You're going to, normally if you're going with someone else, the price of the movie ticket, I feel like is so expensive now.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know. I'm an A-lister. I just pay $20 a month, and I can go 3 times a month. So.
No, nice. I always pay for the A-lister, and I just never use it because I start moving around because I think the A-lister is under AMC.
Yep.
Right, and then I move closer to a Regal, so I feel like I'm in part of all these
and
different
I only did it
clubs.
AMC is like literally next door, so I can just walk there. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying that whatever it is that you do, ask yourself, can I cut back, or how can I cut back and be able to redirect that money into my savings account?
Yeah. And I would also say, if you're young, and I made this huge mistake when I was young, and it pains me and haunts me every day, but I have to let it go eventually, is investing in your 401k, especially if you have an employer who matches your contribution.
Yeah.
I literally left so much money on the table when I was a young teacher. When I was a young teacher, I think I was making like 52. I think I ended on like 60 grand. And they matched, and it was like, because I didn't know any better, but they matched. And when I did the math, I was like devastated. I was like, and I worked there, 5 years. And so that's 5 years of free money that I just left on the table. And it haunted me to this day. Thank God my grind is crazy, and I kept working, and I, have just been literally climbing the ladder ever since. But that still pains me today. And I know that one day I am going to make a certain amount of money where that money probably I won't even think about that anymore. But that's not everybody. Not everybody has those goals or those visions. And I really see mine clearly. But I would say one of those things is, man, invest in your retirement. Yeah. Just because it's free money. And even if you don't choose to retire on that money, it's money you can use towards other things. So,
yeah. So if you have to put in a certain percentage to get the match, put it at least that, so you're not leaving money on the table, like Shay said. And Shay, I think that's so important. Thank you for bringing that up, because I turned money down and left money on the table a lot too when I think about in my younger days. So take advantage of it, and you don't touch it. And for those of you who have been saving in your 401k, don't take out a loan unless you really need it for a hardship reason. So hardship reasons could be to purchase a house, to prevent eviction, to pay for education, things like that. Definite family, like where you need to pull that money out. Otherwise, because the taxes that you're going to pay on it is insane. Don't do that. Again, that money doesn't exist. Don't even look at it. I mean, you could look at how your investments are going over time to make sure you're investing your money right, but it's not something that you should be even thinking about spending unless it's a hardship, like I mentioned. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another thing too is once you start saving and you got your money in your savings account or wherever you keep your money, now it's time to step up and start doing some investments, because that way your money can be making money for you, and you're not getting much of a percentage in terms of a basic savings account, but the interest rates are like, what are you getting on a savings account nowadays? I don't even know.
I don't even know, because I opened mine so long ago.
I can't even remember what you're getting on a standard savings account. Well,
I want to say like 3%, something.
I think it's even less than 4. That.
You think?
It's super. I don't even know. I think it's like next to nothing.
Okay. If it's next to nothing, then praise hallelujah.
Yeah. I don't think it's, I mean,
I'm
in terms of what
you're talking about savings account.
Yeah. So in terms of what you're making.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Your interest. I think I threw you off because I said rates.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That was my fault.
Straight to credit card.
I look at me, my spending behind. I think I'm thinking about credit cards too.
Because that's all I think about.
You're not really getting a lot of interest off your money. It's just sitting there.
Oh, it's like point that's 3, 0.1 or something like that. 0.01, I think.
Next to nothing, like I said, right? So that's why it's important for you to really understand what investments look like. And, for those of you who your employer can even do financial education for you, and you could tap into someone who maybe is managing your 401k, where if you don't know, at least spend the time, take a course. There are a lot of free courses out there that you can better understand how to invest. I mean, there's so many good stuff even on YouTube just to get basic knowledge. And then you can speak to someone who is, of course, more knowledgeable and is an expert in that field that can help you diversify your money. So you're not putting just like you don't put all your eggs in one basket, you're spreading it out. And that's so important for you to do. So that way your money could be making more money for you without you doing anything.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's something that opened my eyes is the investment.
Yeah.
I have an account on Robinhood. I've got a Coinbase. I invest.
Look at dollar bills over there. She got a little bit everything.
The best advice I got was just like invest in the S&P 500 because it is all the businesses. You know what I mean? And
I like the S&P.
But when I started to save after I learned that lesson, when I was younger and when I was with the Sixers, I put as much as I could in my savings, and when we had those meetings, I diversified. And so I was so thankful that I did that because, now I have that money that just sits there. I was actually thinking about putting it in an annuity because the market was so volatile. I just thought I'm going to be losing money.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things you can do to save. But I would also say another thing that really helped me was saving my refund, my tax refund. Because that is a chunk of money that, you forget about until it's time to do your taxes. And so that was another thing that helped me just be able to move from city to city. I don't know if a lot of you know, but I've moved around the world a lot just trying to expand my career. But in order to do that, you have to have first and last month's rent. And because I was able to save those tax refunds, I always had a way to do that. So I think that's another good way to and moving into new cities and new markets also put you in a better position to make more money and do more things so that you could save more money too. So those are things I've learned as well.
Such good advice, Shay. And like I said, learn about the stock market. Shay mentioned the S&P 500, but there are so many different, there are stocks, or a mutual fund, which is a group of stocks, and that's going to make you more money. And so if one stock goes down, the others may do well. So that's why it's important for you to get some advice. Talk to someone who's very knowledgeable and experienced more than us.
But we can only speak on what we've done. So which is what we're doing.
Yeah. But speak to an expert in that field, guys. So that way you can have a better understanding of how your money can make money for you. I could tell you there's times where I invested $100 and made $10,000 off $100. And because I had my money in the right stock. So in mutual funds. So please be sure to speak to an investor. And if you don't do anything, if you don't learn anything from this episode today, is start small, start saving, and the time is now. Okay?
Yep. Okay. I got two more things, two more words of advice.
Yes, go.
Save all of your loose coins. That's a game changer over time, especially for your kids and stuff like that. And it's a fun thing for them to do. And then the 24-hour rule, which is if you see something expensive that you really want, wait 24 hours and see if you still want it. Chances are you don't, but if you do, then you know how to make a decision on that. So those are things that's helped me in saving as well.
Love it. Great tips. LaShayla.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for continuing to support Tipping the Scales wherever you get your podcast. We appreciate you. We just are enjoying our time with one another. And hey, if there's a topic that you want us to chat about on our pod, please hit us up. Shay, how can I do that?
On our Instagram at Tipping the Scales Podcast. We welcome our tippers and our haters because we know you're listening too.
Shout out to y'all haters. Peace. Bye.